What's going on, fellow A-plussers, fellow Force users? It is I, your host, Adam Perez. We are back once again with the inaugural episode of the Force Report. That's right. Listen, we have done a ton of Star Wars talk for you guys over the past couple of years. We have had our High Council present for you guys all the time, from Skeleton Crew to Andor, to go ahead and talk Star Wars with you guys. And nothing has changed except for the look, baby, and the name. That's right. Today, we're going to be diving into Maul Shadow Lord, the brand new animated series from Lucasfilm, and we are certainly excited to talk about it with you guys. So definitely welcome to the Force Report. I'm really excited to certainly talk with everybody here today, and we've got the whole crew on board. Well, not the whole crew. We've got 3 out of 4 of our High Council members today, and it's fantastic to see all your handsome and fantastic faces. You put in some work tonight, Crystal. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
Had to show up. It's our first what is this, like season 3 for us? So
it feels like it. I was like, should I begin this as episode 1? Should we do seasons of this stuff or not? I don't really know how to break it down, but yeah, it feels like we're back for another season. But you look great. I appreciate you putting in the effort for the makeup today, man.
Yeah. Also, like, the intro was going way too hard. I was like jamming.
I was like, is that a bad thing? But you're feeling it? Are you feeling it?
Yeah.
The headphones on too. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, get us in the mood to talk some Darth Maul for sure, man. I'm excited for today's episode. Will, it's fantastic to see you back. I see you rocking your Hut Slayer shirt as always.
Yeah, I got the Hut Slayer Crystal representing. So bad feeling. Yeah, thank you. You look great as well.
Before we get into today's episode, we did have somebody on the panel that got the opportunity to go to the premiere for Maul Shadow Lord, walking the red carpet herself. If you guys haven't seen it, she's got pictures of her all over social media right now. Crystal, I gotta know, what was that experience like for you?
It was great. I feel like I'm so spoiled now watching Maul like on the big screen. Like, the screen is huge. It's like a big theater. It's probably like 100 seats in there. The sound system, and also the energy. Like, watching Star Wars with other people is just like a whole other experience. Like, everyone's like oohing and awing. You can hear them laughing and cheering, and I feel like it also gets you more excited and more in it. So it makes me even more excited to watch Mandalorian and Grogu, like, with a crowd full of people.
Oh,
yeah. You think you're gonna get the invite for?
I don't know. I'm lucky that I got to go to this one. I actually was someone's +1. I'm so thankful that they brought me with them. But I don't know. Fingers crossed. I've been like really trying to like be on my content creator thing so I could get
I see you. I honestly see you everywhere. Like, I feel like I see you on TikTok. You started a TikTok video, didn't you?
I just got back on TikTok, so I'm trying to go hard. I'm campaigning to get invited.
I like it. Who invited you? Was that Alex, the CEO?
Yeah, the Maul CEO, Alex Malfisto, which honestly, it was really nice that they invited me. I don't want to say like a fan of them on Twitter, but I've just been so excited to see how excited they are on Twitter. Ever since they got the invite, I've just been like, go, Alex, go. So it was super kind of them to bring me along to share in their special day.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe inviting them on the show.
Oh my god!
Maybe maybe midway and finale or something like that. Since they are the CEO of Maul, what better person to get how they're feeling about the season so far? So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think they would love to come and talk about Maul.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't have a channel or anything like that, huh?
I don't think so. I think that they're just on Twitter.
I feel you. Well, guys, listen, we are here to launch the Force Report. We have a goal in mind, though. Our goal is we want to get to Celebration 2027, y'all. It's April. We are a year away, so we're literally kicking ourselves off with a year to go. So look, if you love what we're doing here, please like these videos, share these videos, download, clip them, whatever the case may be. Let people know about the Force Report, as we certainly will do the rest. Also do the same for the rest of the Star Wars community out there, guys. So we appreciate all your support. But let's get into Maul Shadow Lord, baby. let me just say off the rip real quick. I heard people, and similar to what you said, Crystal, about having seen it on the big screen, it does kind of spoil you to having to watch it on television. And literally, I was getting ready to watch it the other night, and my girlfriend is like, "Come on, let's watch it together." And it's like on this, in our bedroom, we got this small, like 32-inch television. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna watch it on that. So we went and watched it in the living room on like our 50-inch, and it was so much better. Turned the lights off. It looked really good. I even surprisingly watched the 2 episodes again on my cell phone. Maybe not necessarily the best quality, but I put in my headphones. It looks fantastic. It looks really great. Like the show itself in general just looks beautiful. But look, Crystal, I want to know your thoughts first. Ladies first, as always. You've had the opportunity to see it in the at the theaters also. Let me know your thoughts on, just as a whole, episodes 1 and 2 and how you felt about it.
Well, I would say that this show is definitely exceeding my expectations. I think that visually, the art style, where it has evolved from in the Clone Wars to where it is now, is phenomenal. Like, they're really pushing the boundaries. I also love the sound design. I don't think we've ever had a Star Wars sound like this before. And I also think they're doing like something really cool where it's like a whole new sound, but then it still feels very Star Wars. So I very much appreciate that. And then we have our characters, our lovable characters like Spybot, like big fan of Spybot. I also love the characterizations between Two Boots and our detective. What is
Captain Lawson?
Yeah, Brander. And I think that this show is doing a really great job at showing us instead of telling us things. Like, I love the little example of Brander and Two Boots like having a coffee together, and Two Boots is like, "Oh, I don't drink coffee. I just do this to share in the moment with you," which is like a funny moment. But I also think that it shows that Brander is just not present. He's not a good friend. That's his best friend, and he doesn't even notice that that's what Two Boots does for him. So I feel like within just that little back and forth, you get so much characterization and so much understanding of like who these two characters are to each other and the world that we're in. So I find these little tiny details, or these little nuggets, to be very well done. And I'm really excited because I know that we've all been kind of not feeling great about Star Wars lately. And so this one, I'm like, yay, something exciting to talk about,
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's funny that you wind up bringing that up, because in my notes I put, there's a moment in episode 1 when they come to the crime scene, and Two Boots is kneeling over one of the robots, and he feels like a sense of sympathy for the robot. Like he says something like, "Oh, they were just minding their business, doing their job, and somebody just came in and chopped them down," sort of thing, right? Like the fact that he kind of feels towards other robots, I thought was actually kind of interesting, just to give Two Boots a little bit more personality. You know what I mean? But I was a real big fan of that. What about you, Will? You've had the opportunity to check out episodes 1 and 2. Give us your overall thoughts on how you feel about it.
Yeah, overall thoughts. I'm really enjoying it. Didn't have much expectations for the series. It was, it's definitely familiar with Maul and his story, but I'm really liking the film, the crime noir elements of the show.
Yeah.
Because somewhat familiar with the Shadow Syndicate and all that, but really liking the Sam Witwer, the voice work as always is just exquisite. I mean, he really
He's so
captures his
good.
character. So good, so good. And then also I was like, whenever Echo the Jedi, when I heard that voice, I was like, where do I know that voice from? And then of course I looked at the credits later, I saw Dennis Haysbert. So I was just like, oh yeah, because it was such a distinctive voice. So the voice work in this is very, very strong. Um, yeah, I agree with Crystal with the characterizations. I mean, just the elements of storytelling, uh, little details. Also, given that it's 1 year after Order 66, one of the things I've seen out there is people referring to the Andor of it all, and one of the things with the police force on Janix, we later see that on Morlocks, as far as the private security forces that the local governments were able to keep and utilize, but as the Empire was still, growing their strength throughout the galaxy. So they were utilizing the local police force to do things, and really the aspects of the story where, with Lawson, is sort of my understanding with this particular character. I think he was from the comic books, if I recall, or maybe thinking about somebody else, but his characterization of where he in the show, he seems to be very by the book, but then whenever he started to deviate from the book, as far as not being a rule follower, whenever the normal protocol would be to bring the Empire in when things get out of hand, but the risk of doing that is the Empire will then just take over your whole planet. So there was those elements, and of course, the references to Darth Sidious, and like I said, I really enjoyed the the uh, gangster element of it all, with the two lead gangsters, as far as I can't remember the characters' names right now off the top of my head, but the interplays whenever they were like meeting up in the Faro, and what's the other character? What's the other gangster?
You have Demas and Vario.
Demas and Faro, yeah. With just having to sit down, and it just reminded me of some of those, like, old gangster movies and stuff, where they're having the two lead gangsters are like get in a room together, and then everything just goes sideways. So I'm really liking the series so far.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you brought up the notion of the cast, because yeah, I wasn't quite sure who some of the cast members were until I looked it up. But yeah, I mean, the cast is stacked. I mean, not only do you have Dennis Haysbert in here, but Vanessa Marshall also returns.
Mhm,
She plays the Mandalorian and Rook cast
mhm,
in the two episodes also, and also the gentleman that plays Captain Lawson, Wagner Mora, also another big actor as well. And I think even the guy that plays Vario, Chris, I can't even pronounce his last name, but I see him on TV, on television, like all the time. So they got a really impressive cast here. I'm not gonna lie. I really like how they've kind of put this together. And as the season progresses, I am kind of curious if there's going to be any other characters that pop up that other people that we know or aware of end up actually voicing them. So we'll definitely see. But I'm glad you pointed out the voice cast here. One of the things that I really found myself becoming a fan of this show is that how I thought it was very sort of like easily accessible for anybody to just kind of jump on board, right? Like, even if you stopped watching animation after the Clone Wars, or didn't even see like the final season of the Clone Wars, or you might have missed it and you just want to like jump back into the animated series of it all, this felt just very easily accessible for anybody to pick up, especially the idea of like trying to figure out about Maul's past and where he's kind of been up until this point. The fact that I think episode 2 dives a little bit into the Shadow Collective and their time on Mandalore. I thought that was kind of really insightful in regards to at least giving people a starting point in regards to why Maul is going out for revenge in the way that he is and who he's certainly going after. The animation is peak. Crystal talked about the idea too, that how far it's come since Clone Wars. One of the things that I've talked about on our Sunday show, Hero Report, is that I I have kind of grown a little bit tired of Star Wars animation. Like, I'm not gonna
Oh
lie,
my
because
god.
I'm not gonna lie, just because
Blasphemous.
just because it's
Canceled.
I see it all. I see it all over the place. I see it all the time.
mhm,
Bad Batch, same thing. Rebels, Clone Wars, it all looks the same to me. And I
mhm.
get that maybe from a Lucasfilm standpoint, because it's all canonical and it's all connected, you kind of want everything to kind of look the same. That's fine. I totally get it. And so a part of me was just like, we're gonna go back to this style. But man, bro, this is not the same animation. Like, this is not the same animation. Um, I mean, the painting strokes, the art, I mean, the trailing of the lightsabers, the grittiness, the fog, the smoke, like, I don't it looks incredible. The city of Janix is amazing. The underground aspect of it all, it feels lived in. It feels gritty, exactly what you want from sort of like, and I love the way how you put it, Will, in the sense of a crime noir kind of feel. I put it more like I said in my notes like a detective crime show, but I think crime noir is like the perfect way to kind of explain it. But the art style is unlike anything that I've seen, from the shadows to the lighting. Like anytime Maul comes on screen and he casts this overbearing shadow over who he's approaching, it just feels menacing and it just has gravitas to it. And you can just really feel Maul's presence. And so anytime he comes on screen, or just even if it's just a chase scene down the gorgeous lights of the city sort of thing, art wise, it looks peak. This is unlike anything that I've seen Star Wars been capable of doing before, and I'm really impressed with how just leaps and bounds from what they've come from. The sound and music, incredible. I definitely get some like prequel vibes in here too, especially from some of the chase sequences. I too Crystal wore headphones when I watched it, and I'm so glad that I did, because you can hear every little detail within it. So I was a really big fan. I also really love seeing the Force at work in this show, also leading Maul to where he wants to go, right? The idea that while he is trying to exact revenge, the Force is also leading him to somebody that he kind of needs, and it really just kind of really works fantastically well together. And I have found myself becoming a fan of Captain Lawson 2 episodes in. I just think it's really important that we have a show that also has, I think we're so used to seeing Maul face off against Jedi or whatever the case may be, but the fact that it's like a human, I think just holds a little bit more weight to it. Somebody that has clearly like family problems, or is, puts all of himself in work, wants to try and avoid the Empire. Like all of that really goes well. I think having a face off against not only Maul, but just the crime syndicate of it all. And it makes it feel a little bit more grounded as a series. And I think that really goes a long way for the show. So 2 episodes in, I find myself really enjoying it. I will say I am glad that they put these 2 episodes together and released them as one. If it was one of those cases of like episode 1 drops this week, episode 2 drops the next week, I think I might have felt a little underwhelmed based off of how episode 2 ends kind of abruptly. But so the fact that they put them all 2 together like that, so you can just watch them concurrently, I thought it really worked well story wise.
Yeah, I agree that I like number 1 better than 2, and I think two. Well, just overall, I thought 2 had, for me, had a little bit of pacing issues. But then with the abrupt Disney Plus ending, it definitely
Yeah,
did
getting
not
all
help.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I put in my notes, it says it feels like it has Dave Filoni written all over it in regards to how it just ends abruptly at the end of the stuff. But then again, the Acolyte did that same thing to us too,
Oh,
when we
yeah.
watched it.
That's,
Yeah.
that's why I call it the Disney Plus ending, because the Marvel shows do it. I mean, it's just a weird way that they edit those shows on that platform. But I'm glad you mentioned about Lawson and his balancing the fatherhood, parenting responsibilities. I mean, because it definitely, these episodes are very short, but they, to Crystal's point, all these little details just sort of add texture to these characters, and gives us an understanding about who they are, what they are. The relationship that Lawson and Two Boots has, it was like that traditional buddy cop kind of dynamic that you would see in some, in procedurals, crime procedurals. So that was another little element, I think, that added some texture to the story as well.
Yeah, I was actually a really big fan of just kind of seeing some of the issues that he found himself having to deal with. And I'm glad you brought that up too, Crystal, in regards to like him not even noticing Two Boots drinking coffee or even understanding a reason sort of behind that. It does show the disconnect, and I think that also goes back to how he maybe even views his family too,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder like how far is Lawson gonna go to like not get the Empire involved because he's
Yes.
willing to go to like the underbelly to get the information that he wants and he doesn't want to get like he's like so morally good that he almost like loops around to like do the bad thing to like just the means justify the end basically that's
Yeah.
like what I get from this character and so
Mhm.
I really wonder like where is Lawson going to end up by the end of season 1? Is he still going to be a good guy or is he going to be like this really cynical good guy? Like I feel like there's so much dynamic within the characters. Like I really can't predict like where is this character going to end up?
Yeah, with Lawson, I do find it fast because you're right. It feels like while we constantly have escalation after escalation after escalation, he's like, "Nah, we're not going to get the Empire involved yet." And it
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it did make me wonder. You know, you brought it up too, Will. The idea of like maybe because he knows the idea that if he brings the Empire and they're just going to kind of take over everything in regards
Right.
to take over the planet. But I also wonder if he's hiding something too. You know, like
Oh.
I do wonder
Yeah.
if Lawson has done something or he has his own sort of issues or personal, issues with the Empire that go a little bit deeper for him, maybe
Yeah.
in his family. We see his son. I don't know if they mentioned anything about his wife or the son's
In the
mother in
photo.
here,
Yeah.
outside of the photo. So I do wonder if maybe some Empire stuff maybe went down with the mom, and he feels some type of way and doesn't want to get them involved. It feels a little bit more personal for not wanting to bring the Empire, despite how escalated this is getting.
Right.
Yeah. 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 I mean, granted, like, the Empire is still relatively young at this point because we
That's true.
it's only a year after the Order 66. So, um, so I think this, if I don't know, as far as on the Star Wars maps, if this is I don't think this is a core world. So, so I think, the Empire is utilizing utilizing these private police forces to, like, keep order in place. But I think that's, but given that we do know that season 2 has been greenlit, I mean, that could be, you know, to your point, guys, that, if he has reason to distrust the authorities, being the Empire, maybe that's part of what, that we'll see that unfold throughout the season. Or um yeah, or because I just wonder how he, we're only 2 episodes in. um as far as, we do have the two Jedi, who are basically trying to, keep un, under wraps, because clearly, if you're a Force user right now, it's not a safe place to be. Also, given the time period, I wonder if we'll see any of the Inquisitors, because
Mhm.
this will be the time frame that the Inquisitors would be out there. And if that is the case, and let's just say he does, form a bond with Echo, the one Jedi, the older one Jedi, um, you know, maybe that's where he gets, to your point, Crystal. Maybe that's why he goes further in keeping the Empire at bay, so
Hmm.
that so they don't, come in. So
I like that idea actually because Master Daki is I think he wants to make contact with Lawson. So I
mm,
think it would be in Lawson's best interest to also protect his informant.
I am glad you guys brought up the Jedi. They didn't mention the girl's name at all in these 2 episodes, did they?
they,
Devin?
Yeah,
Did they say her name though?
I don't think they
Oh,
mentioned her
we
name.
just know because we're on the internet.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I know
yeah,
she's a Padawan, but that's about, I can't remember her
yeah.
name.
Are they are
Chat-
is that Master in Apprentice for them? Is that his Padawan? Master Echo's Padawan?
that was the dynamic they were giving off, especially when in the first episode, where, whenever they were on the street at Janix, and, he was still trying to keep the old ways. We don't steal, we don't do this, and then, she was just like, screw it, all the
Yeah.
rules are off now. So they were giving off that vibe.
Right, right. You know, it was interesting. I was watching it with my boyfriend, and he actually didn't know that they were Jedi until Master Doki flipped
Mm.
the cart
Mhm.
or whatever.
Mhm.
He's like, "That's a Jedi," and I was like, "Yeah." But I forget that we're chronically online.
Yeah,
So,
we read
so
yeah, we
it's
read all
him,
this stuff.
Well, for me, it
right?
was the giveaway for me was the whenever she gave him the cloak.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh,
a good point. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting watching it with someone who isn't like in it like we are. You know,
Mhm.
it's interesting to watch like how like other people are interpreting this show.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I am really fascinated with their dynamic. I like you too, Will, also was like, okay, clearly they're like master and apprentice, but just based off of like where we're at timeline wise and with everybody kind of on the run, there's a part of me that just wonders if they just either bumped into each other or like they knew of each other but met up and they just kind of linked up and are now, trying to survive on their own sort of thing. I guess some of the master's decisions in here, I don't want to say I found questionable, but I am kind of curious as to his motives behind it in the sense of letting his Padawan get arrested, in order to like there's part of me that wants to know if he feels the force like leading them down a particular path
Mhm.
and needs her to go in that direction for things to kind of play out, or because he gives this really heavy sigh, and I just found it fascinating. He's like, damn, he's just gonna give up on his Padawan and let his Padawan like have to
Yeah.
go to jail for a day, sort of thing. So I do wonder if he's doing things purposefully. I mean, he's sitting outside the police station, also like waiting and stuff, especially when shit winds up hitting the fans. He like he has the it's interesting because he has the choice to try and save her when he's get the opportunity to, but he changes his mind to go ahead and save the people. That's probably a very Jedi thing. But there's
Yeah.
also, to me, it's also another hint at like, I, I wonder if he's allowing certain things to happen for a reason.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And if it'll all play out and be revealed at the end.
Hmm.
I
Well,
don't know.
give it.
I just feel like maybe there's like a little mystery going on there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because didn't Maul also did Maul like? I'm trying to remember
They
if he
stared each
made
other
it.
down. He saw him. They stared each other
Yeah,
down for a
slow
minute
each other
there.
down. But even before that, didn't Maul make some kind of reference to feeling like the Force or something early in episode one?
Mm-hmm. About like going to break out that guy from prison. He said that he can feel there is something else
There's
leading
something
him
else
there.
there.
Yeah,
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 yeah. So the insinuation is that she is going to be his apprentice, or at least that's what he seemingly is
yeah,
working towards. And I
Right.
I I really love seeing the two of them together, or at least in regards to seeing Maul really kind of test her, I guess, in a way, push her to kind of see what her limits are, or what direction she wind up kind of taking, the emphasis of like, you're free to go at any time, and she's like, well, clearly I'm not, and he's like, well, if you believe that, then I'm kind of worried, right? Like maybe I'm doing this kind of for nothing sort of mentality. Very like psychological warfare, very like reverse psychology, if you will, to really get her to push herself and maybe see what she's kind of capable of. And so I'm kind of curious to see how their relationship will end up. I don't know why. I feel like there's like twists coming out of nowhere. Like,
oh yeah,
like the fact that he wants her to clearly be her apprentice. What if she doesn't end up being his apprentice and somebody else winds up turning into his apprentice by the end of season one? Like I am kind of curious if there's any like what's the word that they use when they switch things up on you. I do wonder if something like that might happen. Like a
I
like a
am
bait and switch. That's what I mean.
yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah,
I am very much I want her to like turn to the dark side, and I
Yeah.
want her to be Maul's apprentice. I can see in the chat some
She's
people
got
are
reasons to.
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I see in the chat people are bringing up Darth Talon, and while I don't necessarily think that Devin will turn into the Darth Talon that we see in the EU,
Uh-huh.
maybe she'll kind of be like a some iteration of a Dark Talon. You know, she's like a kid or a teenager in this show, so she's not going to be dressed like Darth Talon. But it would be interesting to see her like go to the dark side. I know with the Acolyte, we had our main character Osha go to the dark side, but it wasn't really explored, and it wasn't really explored well, in my opinion. So I hope that this show we get to see some kind of like transition to the dark side. I think that Maul he's a crime lord boss in this. He is a former Sith. And I think that Maul is very smart and cunning, persuasive. And I really want to see him get his way. Like, this is his show. Like, he wants an apprentice. Like, get that man an apprentice.
Given that where we know Maul ends up, in Rebels, it does make sense that it is, and given also that this show, we know at least there's going to be at least 2 seasons, so it does make sense for him to maybe get that win. So because he, at this point we know his clear motivations are to, get his vengeance on Darth Sidious. So
Right. And it probably is going to end tragically, just knowing what we know in Rebels. I think that this is not going to be a happy ending kind of show. I think Maul's going to lose everything. If he does get Devin to be his apprentice, maybe she leaves him, or he dies, or she turns on him. So I don't know. I think that there's so much here to play with for where Maul is now as a character to where we see him as this like crazy broken man at like a Sith temple.
Yeah, he is quite that tragic character. I almost feel like nothing quite goes his way, or like when he has it, it's immediately kind of taken from him. And we're just kind of on that journey with him,
Yeah. But he's like not sympathetic. Like
yeah. No, he's not. He's really not. But I think Sam Witwer does a beautiful job with him all the time. I've been loving hearing his interviews and stuff, and seeing just how involved he is with this character and whatnot. I really wouldn't mind if he was even more involved when it comes to the creative side of Star Wars, just sort of in general. But I love how he takes ownership of this character. I mean, how he comes up with these voices, and when he speaks, like anytime Maul is on screen and he's speaking, dude, I'm locked in the whole entire time.
Yeah. Isn't what we're EP on this show?
I believe he is. I would be surprised if he's not, honestly.
Yeah.
Based off how much influence he has in the show.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about well, we kind of brought first off, we did talk a little bit about the crime syndicate in here, Demas and Vario. First, the opening, the opening for episode 1, crazy. The idea of like the crime syndicate, or I should say Maul's, does Maul's cronies have a name right now?
I think it's the Death Watch.
Watch, yeah.
Is that what they're referring? Okay.
I don't know.
I did love the opening sequence in here. Just seeing you talked about the robot Crystal. I in my notes I put him as saucer droid just because he had the saucer hat and he had the saucer body. But I really Spybot. I really dug Spybot in this too. I really did. Just seeing some of the cool trinkets that they had with like the wires that went from building to building to slice the transporter in half, sort of thing. Visually was great. Get an opportunity to see Maul make his entrance the way that he did, to go ahead and bring us right into the opening credits of the show. It was fantastic. But I really did love the crime syndicate aspect of things, especially Vario. I was a really big fan of his suit that he wound up having, like his little man body fitting inside the gigantic suit. He's got the ability to jump in and out whenever he wants to. It really worked for me, man. I was a fan of Vario.
Yeah, that definitely worked for me too, and that was what I was really like about that dynamic between Fario and all. With the suit, and like I said, it just does give that gangster that vibe that I think about like Penguin, where where he wants he wants to be the big boss, but you're just a guy in a suit, you're just like you're nothing without that suit. So, but he thinks he's a player because but Maul was basically like using him to like get what he needs as far as trying to pull together, to pull the Pikes and pull the other crime units into the into the place so he can just basically take them all over.
I do want to give some quick shout outs to people in the live chat here with us. I'm not going to go through all of these comments real quick, but shout out to Scarif for certainly coming through today. Thank you so much, man. We really appreciate it. We got Kiki and Luca certainly in the house also saying what's up with us. Said, I heard this is good. Haven't been into animated Star Wars. It's time, Kiki and Luca. It's time. You're truly missing out. Scarif says Star Wars animated shows seem to be consistently better than live action, and I don't know why. That's probably Dave Filoni's doing, honestly. Who else we got in here?
Except for Andor.
Except for Andor. Yeah, except for Andor. Except for Andor. You're absolutely right. Let's see. We got Marcelino in the house. I watched Maul and most things on my phone. I'm kind of curious know, Marcelino, how you like the quality, if it really worked for you also. He also says it's a little on the nose to have your police character literally be named Lawson. I get it. Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else in here. Yeah, apparently Scarif has also canceled me for my animation take.
You're lucky that it was just your face. I was on the backstage just like I cannot believe it.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Outside of Visions, I love Visions because it's just give me something different, y'all. Can I just get something different? Like, why everything got to look the same? Like, come on.
I'm there with you. That was, it was a little bit of a barrier to entry for Clone Wars and Rebels early on. I mean, you do get used to it, but it does take a while to get used to it. But the animation with this show was, I think, as you guys both described, I'm really digging it.
Yeah, it's next level. I think they actually used like actual paintings for this. Like when I was at the premiere, they had like actual canvases up, and I thought that was so cool that they're like meshing like real art and like computer art.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty flawless, especially in moments of like just showcasing the city and stuff from just the cityscape and whatnot. I'm sitting there watching myself like, where's the painting begin or where's the painting end and the CGI take over? Like I can't tell, but it looks so clean.
Yeah, me too. I feel like half the time I was just looking at the background.
Shout out to Wedgehorn here. I wonder if we'll see Kira from Solo. Interesting.
Hope so.
I wonder if that'll be a season 1 deep cut or a season 2. But you might be onto something there. I like that. Let's see here. Marcelino, shout out to Sam Witwer. Also, Star Killer from Force Unleashed video games. Yeah, I played the first one. He's pretty good in that one as well. Let's go pros and cons. Anything that we haven't necessarily touched upon that you guys were really big fans of or didn't necessarily care about?
Pros, overall pros, I think the first episode, I think maybe either Crystal, you may have mentioned it, or maybe you, Adam, but I really felt that it did do a good job of just sort of setting the table as far as just doing the world building. And I think, Adam, you mentioned that too. You didn't necessarily, if you're coming into this cold and hadn't watched Clone Wars or Rebels or anything, you just remember Maul from maybe from Phantom Menace. I didn't feel like it was I didn't feel like it was like necessary for you to be able to enjoy these 2 episodes if you didn't have any more background about him than what you saw in Phantom Menace. You just thought it was a really cool character because of the dual bladed sword. Obviously, if you've seen the other animated shows, you'll have a deeper appreciation for it. But otherwise, I didn't think it was a barrier to entry for someone who's just parachuting in. But of course, I do have little Star Wars blinders on, so it's kind of hard to know. Yeah, but I'm not that steeped in Clone Wars and stuff. I've so that so I think I'm a decent barometer for that.
I will say a couple of pros that I had. I love the body count in this, bro. The body count
Mm,
in the first two episodes is off the charts. I kind of lost count as to how many people Maul wind up chopping down. But the more the merrier.
Right.
yeah.
I honestly love seeing him at work. Um, and it's very terrifying too. Like it gives me like Rogue One, Darth Vader vibes, hallway scenes. There's a lot of like really cool
Mhm.
hallway scenes in the first two episodes here of seeing Darth Maul just kind of go to work. And I got to give props to, I'm always fascinated by directing work when it comes to animation for some reason. I don't know why, in regards to like how they get just some of the shot selection that they decide to go with. But like from a cinematic perspective, it looks really great. Like I think episode 2, when they're escaping the prison or the police headquarters, there's a really cool shot of like them at the bottom of the hall, or at the bottom of the ladder, uh and it like quickly comes up all the way to Maul with his lightsaber out, sort of thing. I just think from like an animation perspective of like just a quick movement, like how you even get to a shot like that, sort of thing. So I'm really fascinated in just animation direction in general, because I just think it's really gorgeous in here in regards to some of their shot selections and how they make it look.
Yeah.
Yeah. To go off of what you're saying about the body count,
Yeah. I was
I
gonna ask.
love yeah, I love like how creative they are being with it,
Yeah.
because obviously this is Star Wars, it's animation, so I don't want to say this is like a kid show, maybe it's like an older a
Mhm.
kid show, but they're being super creative. Like a lot of the body parts that we're seeing are droid body parts.
Yeah.
When we do get one of the pikes cut or stabbed, it's like
Oh
a
yeah.
cut over like a blurry window. And so I love that it is they're being so creative about it. Something that I really love about this show is that it feels very mature compared to like a lot of the other animation and a lot of what we've been getting even in live action. This show doesn't talk to us like we're like not, I don't want to say stupid, but it's asking us to keep up with it. It's not pausing to explain things to us, which I really appreciate. It like at the very end of episode 2, where Devin finds her way out of her jail cell, her like self-imposed jail cell. It's not explained to us what's going on, and we're kind of left to wonder and ponder, what is Maul's angle, what is his message, what is he trying to say with this metaphor, what is the metaphor. And so I love that we as the audience are kind of having to figure out and dissect as well. It feels very mature in that way, very gritty, very like fast paced. So
Mhm.
those are all the things I really like about it.
Yeah, the maturity aspect I think really comes from what you mentioned too, Will, in regards to like the crime noir feel kind of it all. I think once you start telling yourself that that's the direction you want to kind of take your show, you really force yourself to
Yeah.
have to take yourself much more seriously in how tell the story.
Right.
I think that's one of the cool things about Star Wars has been dipping its toe in various other genres. In particular on the animation side, a little bit with live action as well, but on the Disney Plus shows. But this is definitely them dipping their toe into the noir. Um, Speaking of the body counts and stuff, so I actually that was a con for me.
Oh,
Ooh,
really?
ooh,
This is
Yeah,
what
it
we're
just
here
canceled,
for. Yes.
canceled. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I don't know. It just it was almost over the top cartoonish. I mean, I know it's a cartoon, but I just felt like after a while it was just like, okay. Um, yeah,
He's a bad guy.
yeah.
See, because I thought him going to the police headquarters, ballsy move. Like I
Yeah,
was down for it. I'm like, let's
yeah,
go. Like I want to see like Bruce Lee in like
yeah,
the Game of Death, going through like different levels and just
yeah.
smashing people, like just smashing dudes. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
anytime Darth Maul's
Yeah.
on his slaying spree, I'm all for it, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just like it was like you said, Crystal. You like a lot of us droid parts, and and they were just like faceless. The police, the human police that I assume they're human, but the faceless police officers who were just getting taken down. It just I don't know. It just
It's not high stakes enough type of thing.
It just, yeah, it just felt, it was just like cannon fodder.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I get
And
that.
so it was just kind of like, to me, it just kind of lessened the impact. So whenever we did see, like to your point about the Pike, I mean, that one actually, like, okay, now I'm like, okay, that to me, that seems more realistic. And also, even when Faro was like, whenever the other, when he got taken out, getting shot in the back. I mean, that to me was more impactful than just the random cannon fodder.
You know what? I can agree to that because it's
Yeah.
like you said, they're just droids. So I don't really feel like this is like a big loss for this community. It's is it that horrific or are they just getting in his way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am glad you brought up the Pike death at the end and at the end of episode 2. That was really cleverly executed. I literally thought that you would actually see it, but the fact that it cuts to the outside of the window, I
Mhm.
thought really worked. I really enjoyed how they pulled that one off. Any other con? I didn't really have too many cons. If I had any con about these 2 episodes, it's really just the abrupt ending for episode 2. I just didn't
Yeah.
really care for it. A little bit, little. I don't want to say a little bit too short because it is animation, so that's kind of almost a given. I'd rather take that than a live action 28-minute episode and then end like that. But
Yeah.
I feel like it is something that Lucasfilm still continues to do. Um, I get the idea that this story, maybe these 2 episodes together, are supposed to be watched together as one long arc that you're trying to tell. But it's like, we can't come up with a better ending than just
Right.
like,
Yeah.
than just ending. As I was watching myself, I was watching it and I'm like, ooh, I'm trying to figure out, like, is she gonna run? Is she gonna follow Maul, sort of thing? What's gonna happen? And I'm like, they better not. And then credits. I'm like, oh my God, they do this to me
Yeah.
all the time. All the time. So yeah, that's all my only con.
Yeah, they do. And I hate that you
Episode
can feel
4,
it
if they do
too.
that, yeah, you can feel it. If they do this
Yeah.
on episode 4, oh, demerits immediately. Um,
We're going down to a B.
that's right. That's right. But you're absolutely right though, Crystal. Like you can feel it when you're watching the episode.
Right. It
Mhm.
is very unsatisfying, I will say. It's like, come on, like give us like a loop around or like give us like some kind of ending.
Something did people did when you watched it in theaters, did anybody react a certain way? I gotta assume that the hype was so real in the theaters that everyone was just like, "Ah," regardless.
Yeah, they
Regardless. Okay.
were. I
Okay.
think the biggest cheering was when Master Donkey like flipped the thing. Like you heard everyone just
Oh,
like
Oh.
which was fun. But yeah. No one really, it didn't sound like anyone was upset by the ending.
yeah, probably not. Probably
Yeah,
not.
we're all riding that high at that point, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Everything is great. Everything
Right.
is great.
Everything 10 out of 10. Like, and then you get home and you're like, huh, where
You
were
can
all
pick you
those
can pick it up
droids?
apart a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. No one actually
Well,
died.
yeah. Well, I guess the critics didn't get too bent over the abrupt ending because at least, well, last look earlier this evening, I think it was still maybe at 100% Rotten Tomato score for on the
Wow.
critic side. So, um,
Let me
Sounds
see.
fake.
yeah,
Would you say it sounds fake? Is that what you said?
Yeah, sounds paid. Sounds paid to win.
yeah, or maybe it just hadn't had many. Maybe it's a small sample at this point, but
Yeah.
But
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
critics are still 100%.
yeah.
Audiences are 94%. So yeah,
So,
that's pretty incredible, man.
yeah. So and I think it is. I think we're just we're used to it now. So it's just sort of like, oh well, that's this is what they do.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get to our grading then. Let's get to look. Are we just all gonna give this hundreds? Is that what we're doing here, guys? Or what is are we gonna be critical of the grade of this one? Are we gonna be 100? Are we gonna be 94%? Or are we somehow gonna be like 80% here? I am kind of curious as to how you guys rated this. Can I get some side views? Yeah, there we
There you
go.
go.
That's the view that I wanted to get. Some side view here for our report card. We do this a lot for movies. if you guys want to check out, we've got our legend key at the bottom there, so you can get the idea of like our grades and their percentage points here. So if anything, we'll all give our grade and then we'll give an average for episode. We'll do as episode 1 and 2. We'll do them as like as a whole. I don't want to do episodes 1 and 2 separately. So anybody want to go first with their grade?
Crystal, you go first.
Okay, I'll go first. Okay, so it's not 100 because that's like where I hold Andor. So, but I will say, like I really love these episodes. I think that they're great. Just from what I had heard at the premiere, I don't know if you guys want me to tell you what I heard. It's not any spoilers, but should I say it or no?
If it's not spoilers, go for it. I'm
Go
down.
for it. Yeah, go for it.
They had said that these 2 episodes are the weakest episodes, and they said, and so they said that it's just gonna ramp up from here. They said if this show is a roller coaster, we barely got strapped in. So, yeah. So just based off of that knowledge, and now my expectations are really high, I'm gonna give this an 89 B+.
Ooh, an 89. Okay, hold on a second. Right. Remember your score. I'm trying to add my score up here real quick while I'm trying to figure that out too. What about you, Will? How are you feeling?
And we're doing these together, correct?
Yes.
89.
Oh, look at us, twins.
Yeah.
Y'all killing me here.
Wait,
man.
why? Give us your reasons.
So I think I hit on many of them. I think for me, the first episode was definitely the stronger of the 2. The second one was, I think there was some pacing problems with it. Whereas the first episode I was really locked in. The second one, there were some moments where I just felt like I never reached for my phone. That's the killer. But there were some places where I did kind of drift off, and I was just like, it wasn't as engaging for me. But the moments, and also like as I mentioned with my cons, I think the cannon fodder aspect of all the with the violence in there. Not that I'm trying to sound like a prude or anything, but it just kind of took away from it for me.
Right.
But overall, I mean, I think it was a solid B+ start.
Yeah, I think mine's is coming in at a low A-, very much at a 90. VFX great, sound great, directing great. Writing, I don't know if I gave that like a 7.5 or an 8 sort of thing. I think episode 2 might have dragged it down just a little bit for me. I think they probably could have done a little bit more in these 2 episodes. If they, immediately. Demerit immediately. And I thought the voice acting was stellar in here as well. I think I gave that about a 9, but so it comes out to about 90% for me. So I'm gonna go with 90. So you said both of y'all were 80, 89. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
So overall score 89. So it'll be a B+ for us for episodes 1 and 2 together for Maul Shadow Lord. So yeah, if you're right, Crystal, and this is like the weakest of the bunch, like we really didn't have too many cons to talk about for this, and so if this is going to be a B+, yeah, man, bring on the rest of the season, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it definitely is a strong, B solid start. Start. And hearing what you just said, Crystal, that if this is the weakest of the bunch, then yeah, we're definitely in for a fun ride this season. Now, are they releasing each episode 2 episodes per week, or was this just that's what I thought? Okay. I didn't know if this was a one-off or not.
Episode 4, you better not do it. Episode 4.
I think they're going to.
Yeah.
I think every episode is going to.
They should just release these in theaters every week. I honestly,
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
But I am glad they're doing a weekly release, so we can, one, it just selfishly gives us content, but 2, it also, I think it just gives us time to gives these episodes to breathe, and instead of it just being a solid binge. So I think that's a very smart strategy to keep to do the weekly drop.
Yeah.
I agree. But yeah, guys, we will be here every Wednesday evening, 10 p.m. Central Time for you guys. So if you enjoyed our thoughts and our reviews on episodes 1 and 2, we certainly will be back next week. Hopefully we'll get the opportunity to have Stuart involved, our other High Council member here as well. But if not, you can definitely count on the three of us to certainly be back for you guys next Wednesday. And then look, now that the Force Report has officially kicked off, I wouldn't mind doing some news discussions in regards to the world of Star Wars, not necessarily just television show reviews, since they're so far in between. We do have The Mandalorian and Grogu in May that we're going to get the opportunity to go ahead and talk with you guys about. But when there's not a show kind of going on for us to review, maybe every 2 weeks or so, maybe we can get together and round up some of the Star Wars news and kind of discuss what's kind of going on in the Star Wars world for you guys. So if there's anything in particular that you guys want to see from us as the Force Report, please go ahead and certainly do so. If you have any suggestions, you want us to react to something, review a movie, whatever the case may be, we're definitely open to that for you guys. Also, if you listen to us just via audio, we will be ripping the audio from this and dropping this in podcast form for you guys as well. So certainly look forward to that. But episode 1 of the Force Report in the books, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm excited. But let's go ahead and go around the table real quick. Crystal, if people want to find you on social media, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and I guess TikTok now. And YouTube, and I make Star Wars and makeup content, so check me out there. I also have a fandom-based clothing brand called Bad Feeling, where we do like fandom-inspired clothing. It's getbadfeeling.com. Thank you so much for having me.
Always, Crystal. And Will, if people want to find you on social media, where can they find you, sir?
Yeah, just to plug, Crystal, this is one of the Bad Feeling shirts that
we got one of our models.
Yeah.
Today.
Wanted to get the Force Report going so I could share the love there. But yes, you can find our shows. Best way to go is our website, www.cinenerdpodcast.com. I'm on all the socials at Will M. Polk, WILLMPOLK, and our show handles on most of the social platforms is at Scene a Nerd, except for Threads and Instagram, and it's scene_n_nerd.
Fantastic. And guys, if you want to follow me on social media, everywhere at A+Opinion. Actually, you know what? I'm changing a lot of my social media around now that I think about it. Here, you guys can follow this stuff everywhere up here. Just in the middle of the screen there. Yeah. Very active over on TikTok at Hero Report. Just changed our Twitter handle to A+Hero Report. We're very active also on our Facebook page at A+Opinions. We post news on a regular basis, daily basis for you guys all throughout the day. And then we also have a live show every Sunday called A+Hero Report that you can go ahead and tune in, and we talk movie and television news there for you guys as well. So we may talk some Star Wars there as well for you guys, but the Force Report will always certainly be here for you guys. So we'll certainly see you next week. And until next time, guys, as always, do us a big favor. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. We'll talk to you guys later. May the Force be with you. Bye.